Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you the one of the very important topic in C++ um, in our fundamentals of programming to subject, which is file management and file, or we can say a file handling. So first of all, let's discuss about the agenda, that which are the topics I'm going to cover. Okay, so these are the agenda. Today we are going to cover these topics in the for file handling, that is file management, which includes file classes, fstream header file, then file input output stream, storage of data file, opening a file, closing a file, along with one example, reading a file and handling a file. So these are our key topics that we are going to study today. So let's start with the basic definition of the file management or file handling. So what do we mean by file or file management? So files are used to store the data in a storage device permanently. So whenever you are storing the data, first of all, what is the data? What is information? So data is in the raw form. When you process it, suppose for example, the student record of all the branches is a data for you. But by filtering the data, which is useful to use information. So whenever you are storing this data or information in a storage device permanently, that is nothing but a file, that you do it in a file. So always a file management is required to handle this data in a proper way. So let's start with the file handling. So in the file handling, we will first see that C++ file classes, which are the different classes. Now, file handling to three C++ classes, which contains naming a file, opening a file, writing a data into file, reading the data from the file, and closing a file. So there is a syntax, and we will be able to do this process steps in the particular for file handling. So file handling is used to store the data permanently in a computer. Using a file handling, we can store our data in secondary memory, that is a hard disk, which is a permanent storage. So how to achieve the file handling? So for achieving a file handling, there are we have to follow certain steps. So the step one is naming a file. The second step is opening a file. The third step is writing the data into the file. Fourth is reading the data from the file and closing a file. So we will see in detail this the below the steps which I have mentioned to you in detail. So what is the streams in C++? So here, as you can see, that there are different streams that I have mentioned, like F stream, if stream, O off stream, iOS, I stream, O stream. So what is streams in C++? So we give input to the executing program, and the execution program gives back the output. So the sequence of bytes given as input to the executing program and the sequence of byte that comes as output from the executing program are called the stream. I'm repeating, the sequence of the bytes given as an input to the executing program and the sequence of the bytes that comes as an output from the executing program are called a stream. In the other words, we can say that streams are nothing but the flow of data in a particular sequence. So the input and output operation between the executing program and the devices like keyboard, monitor are known as console, input output operation. So the input and output operation between the executing program and the file are known as disk input output operation. Okay, so let's discuss in detail about these streams. So the classes for file stream operation. What are the different classes for file stream operation? As I have mentioned, we will go through one by one. So the input output system of C++ contains a set of classes which define the file handling methods. So these include if stream, off stream, F stream classes. You can see if stream, off stream, F stream classes. These classes are derived from F stream and from the corresponding IO stream classes. Also, these classes are designed to manage the disk files and are declared in the F stream, and therefore we can include this file in any program that uses the files. Okay, so now let's discuss one by one. First of all, we will discuss the iOS, that is input, that this stands for input output stream. So this class is the base class for other class in this class hierarchy. This class also contains the necessary facilities that are used by all the other derived classes. We have already discussed what is derived classes. Derived classes is the one which is, for example, my base class is A, but derived class is B. So that derived class is nothing but a child class, you can say. Okay, so this class contains the necessary facilities that are used by all the other derived classes for input and output operations. Okay, now comes the iStream. Now, what is iStream stands for? So, iStream stands for input stream. This class is derived from the class iOS, that is for input output stream. So, this class handles the input stream. And the extraction operation, I hope you I have the idea about extraction operation, that is a greater than sign, two greater than sign is overloaded in this class to handle the input streams from files to the program execution. Now this class declares input functions like get function, getLine function, read function. Okay, so this is a iStream. Now we will discuss about the OStream. What is OStream stands for? It stands for output stream. This class is derived from the class input output stream. This class handles the output stream. So the insertion operation, that is 2 less than sign, is already overloaded in this class to handle the output streams to files from the program execution. So this class declares output functions such as put and write. The next one is stream buffer. This class contains a pointer which points to the buffer which is used to manage the input and output streams. Now comes an fstream base. So what is fstream base class? So this class provides the operations common to the file streams, serves as a base for fstream, ifstream and offstream class. So this class contains open and close function which we will use in our, we will see with the example. So this class contains open and the close function. Now comes the if string. So this class provides the input operations. Which are the input operations? It contains open function with default input mode, inherits the function which is get, getLine and read, seek G, tell G functions from the iStream, and so these are have been inherited functions. Now offstream. So what is offstream? The offstream, this class, offstream class provides the output operations. If it contains the functions like put, write, seek, it also contains the open function with default output mode and also contains the inherit functions like put, write, seekp, and telp for the output stream. Okay, now fstream class. The fstream class provides the support for simultaneous input and output operation. Simultaneous means at the same time. Okay, so inherits all the functions from iStream and OStream classes through IOStream. Then the last one is file buffer. Its purpose is to set the file buffers to read and write. Okay, so we can also use the file buffer member function to determine the length of the file. So these are all the C++ file classes that we have discussed. So the in C++ files are mainly dealt by using the three classes that I have mentioned in detail: string, offstream, and ifstream. So the all these are the file classes that I've just given you in brief. That what are different functions in that. So now let's move with our next topic. I hope everyone is clear with these file classes. These are the main three classes, so I have mentioned in detail. Other classes I have discussed with you in brief. Stream class is to both read and write. If is stream class to read from files, and off stream is stream class to write on files. Now fstream header file. Now it will show that how the syntax will be written and how the file will be opened and accessed and created and handled. So in the C++, input-output operations are very much similar to the console input-output operations. So the file operations also make the use of streams as an interface between the programs and the files. A stream can be just defined as a sequence of the byte. And now here you can see file input-output streams. So we have already discussed classes. Now what is file input output stream? So here you can see there is a disk file. Whenever we want to read the data from it, we will read it. It will consider as my input stream, and then it will be processed and input stream from processing program. Now output data after processing, whatever program is applied on it, output data after processing, this is my output stream, and we have written back it into the hard disk, that is a secondary storage. So from the above figure, we can see that streams that supplies the data to the program is the input stream, and if it reads the data from the file and hands it over the program, and then it processes it over there, and the output stream is written back to the particular hard disk. So this is the file input output stream. I hope everyone is clear till now. Okay, now storage of data files. So how the data files can be stored? So the data files are stored in two ways: the text file and the binary file. What is the text file? The file which stores the information in the ASCII character based characters. So the text in the text files, each line of text is terminated with some special character, which is known as the end of line character. While in the binary files, it contains the information in the same format in which the information is held in memory. So in the binary files, there is no delimiter for the line. Also, no translation occurs in the binary file. So these are the two different types of data files. Text file, which contains the special characters where at the each line of text is terminated, it contains a special character which is known as end of line character. And the second is a binary file. Now we will see that how to open a file, how to write a file, how to read a file, how to handle a file by using some example. Okay, so a file must be open before you can read from it or write from it. So for reading and writing purpose, definitely you need to just open the file first. So either the off stream or stream object may be used so that we can open a file for reading or writing or whatever operation you want to do. and if stream object is used to open a file for reading purpose only. So if stream object is used for reading purpose, and the second is either off stream or stream object can be used to open a file for writing. So here the syntax you can see that void open. So here this is my syntax to open the particular file. So the first argument specifies the name and location of the file, okay, to be opened, and the second argument of is the argument of the open member function defines this mode in which the file should be open. In which mode the file should be open is written over here, and the name and location of the file should be mentioned here. So void open constant character file name iOS input output stream open mode only. So this is the open mode in which we want to open the file. This is mode defines that what you want to do on the particular file. Now these are the mode flags and description. Different mode flags are mentioned over here. I input output stream, okay. Append mode, this is an append mode. Here all the output to that file to be appended at the end. If it is input output stream ATE, open a file for output and move the read write control to the end of the file. The third one is input output stream in, open a file for reading, input output string out, open a file for writing, and input output string truncate if the file already exists and its contents will be truncated before opening the file. So these are the different mode flag and description which we will use in our examples. So here you can see off stream, that is out file. Now here out file dot open, this is the file name and location. Here iOS out and iOS input output stream truncate is used. So similar way you can open a file for reading and writing purpose by this. So here fstream a file. So a file dot open. So we have opened the file dot, and then input output stream out and input output stream in. So this is the example, this is how we can define it, and we can write in whenever we want to create a file, when we want to open a file, okay, for reading or writing purpose. Now a closing a file. So when a C++ program terminates, it automatically flushes all the streams, okay. When it terminates, it flush all the stream and release all the memories and close the open file. But it is always a good practice that the programmer should close all the open file, okay, before terminating anything or before putting the it is a good practice that a programmer should close all the open file. So the syntax to close the file is void close. This is the syntax to close the file. I hope everyone is clear that how we are using the different input output streams for the various operation. Okay. Okay. Now our next topic is writing to a file. Now here, whenever we want to write anything, we always use a less than, we can say a left side less than, this is the insertion operation. Okay, so just like while doing the C++ programming, you write the information to a file from one program, from your program, using the string insertion operator. So the stream insertion operation will be used. So this is the operator. You can see this is how it will be defined. So as you use that operator to output information to the screen. So the only difference here is that you can use the off stream or f stream object instead of the cout object. Cout object is which we use for printing. Okay. So for output. So here there is a stream insertion operator we put for the writing to a file. So here is an example. You can see include iostring. This is an library. We must have to include this files for the operations that we are going to do. Include stream.h. Now here in the void main function is that in which offstream create and open a text file. We have created one file and we have opened one file. Now here this is nothing but what we have discussed here, that is the writing to a file there. So this is a stream insertion operation. This is a stream insertion. So we have written to the particular file, and then we have closed the file. So my file dot close, and then break. So this is how we can write to a particular file. Okay, now handling the data files. So data files in C++ can be handled in two ways: sequential file handling, and the second one is random file handling. So in a sequential access, in which the record are accessed in the particular sequence. So the information in the file is processed in order, one record after the another, and the next record, then the next record in the particular sequence. So it is the most primitive one. Okay, and the random file handling means is the term used to describe a file or a set of files that are accessed directly instead of requiring that other files be read first. We can directly randomly access that particular file. There is no need to pre-read some of the files, so we can directly access that particular file. So random access data file enables you to read or write the information anywhere in the file. So these are the two types of ways we can handle the data files: a sequential file handling, and the second one is random file handling. So sequential, here we have put some of the function, the sequential input output with files. So here we will discuss that which are the one which is used. So the file stream classes supports a number of member function for performing the input and output operations. So whenever we want to do input and output operations, there is always a member functions which are used for the doing the particular procedures. Okay, so the function get and put are capable of handling a single character at a time. So the get line function lets you handle the multiple character at the line, and another pair of the function which is read and write, which are capable of reading and writing the blocks of the binary data. Okay, so the get line, put functions, the functions get and put are byte oriented. That is, get will read a byte from a data and put will write a byte of the data. So these are the different member functions we are going to use whenever we are going to access any of the sequential files. Okay, so these are the different functions. We have seen one or two in the example already. The second one is random input output files. So in this there are some member functions like sigg, sigp, telg, and telp functions. So in C++, whenever the random access is achieved by manipulating the sigg, sigp, telg, and telp functions. So these sigg and telg functions allow you to set and examine the get pointer, and the sigg and telp functions perform the operation on the put pointer. So these are the different member functions that we are going to use for handling the particular sequential and the random file in our. Okay, so this is what I just have to cover. We have seen different concepts of the file management, file handling. So I hope I am able to justify all the agenda that I have mentioned here. So the one simple thing is the steps that we need to follow. File handling to C++ is nothing, just a brief overview I'm giving, is used to store the data permanently in a computer. Using the file handling, we can store our data in a secondary memory, that is our hard disk. And the file handling can be done by first of all naming a file, then we open a file, then we write into the file, then we read from the file, and then closing a file. And here the streams that we have mentioned in detail, that which are the different stream. IOS stands for input output, iStream, OStream, stream buffer, fstream base, if stream, off stream, f stream, and file buffer. These are the different streams that we have discussed. So what is the use of streams? We give the input to the executing program, and the executing program gives back the output after processing it with some program. So the sequence of byte given as an input to the executing program, and the sequence of the byte that comes out as an output from the executing program are nothing but an string. So the input and output operation between the executing program and the devices like keyboard and monitor are known as the console input output operation. And the input output operation between the executing program and the files are known as the disk input output operation. So these are the different streams that I have covered. That is iStream, fstream, offstream, iOS, iStream, ostream, okay, file buffer. These are the different topics that we have covered. Then we have also seen the how to open the file. We have seen the syntax, how to open a file. Then these are the different mode flags and description, that what is input output stream, append mode, this is input output stream. Then this is iOS in, then iOS out, open a file for reading purpose and writing purpose, and truncate. So these are the different mode flag. This is the example that we have discussed. Now how to close a file, then void close function will be used. How to write a file, that we have already discussed. We have created one file and then we have written in the file by this operator, and then we have closed the file. So handling the data in the file, there are two types of file handling: sequential file and the random and the random file handling. Okay, that's from my end. I hope everyone is clear with the concepts of the file handling. Thank you so much.